Well, I couldn't stay away from WoW for very long, I guess. I'm a WoW addict. What can I say? I know there's a way that you can scale this, right? Thought there was. I know I did it before. Wait. Oh, there we go. Man, I love Cartographer. I really do. Alright, what haven't we done? We needed, what, Den Mother? Alright, we got some stuff down south to do. Wondering... I was just thinking, well, we need more arrows. I was wondering... Nah, never mind. I was thinking about training and stuff. It's kind of funny, like the original, like I was watching a video, an old video. It was actually a video called Blizzard Crackdown, Private Server Streamers Shut Down. And it was by Poon somebody, I don't really know this guy. But there was like Hamster Wheel and Frostadamus and, you know, some of these like big private server people, you know, and I love Hamster Wheel. Hamster Wheel, I've always enjoyed his content. Anyways, it was just, I think when Nostalrius was going, and I kind of missed the boat on some of that stuff, so I wasn't really around for Nostalrius. I kind of came in after. Hey, Mason. You know what, Mason? I was afraid I'd burn myself out. But, you know, honestly, the sad part is there's no other games I want to play. So burn myself out or don't burn myself out. This is about the only game I want to play. Even if I'm burned out, it's still the only game I want to play. Like, when I go play Retail WoW, and I can play Retail WoW, I can do Battlegrounds stuff Retail WoW, but I get bored of that because, well, biggest reason I get bored of that is the queue times are too long. They're just, you know, you wait like, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes to get into a match, and then the match lasts, you know, 6 minutes. And then you wait 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes. I mean, 50% of the time you're just sitting around doing nothing. So I don't really enjoy that. And but I do love doing some Battlegrounds, like Battlegrounds in Retail. But Retail has so many issues. There's just so many issues with Retail WoW. So yeah, I mean, really, this is my favorite version of World of Warcraft. I mean, I like Burning Crusade too. I mean, I would have loved Burning Crusade Classic if it didn't have all the boosters and all the stuff that was going on in it that we just shouldn't have had, you know. So, but yeah, I'm not worried to make myself burned out. I mean, honestly, Mason, I'm just hoping to build more of a community on my YouTube channel than I've had previously. In you know, leading up to this private server, I mean, I could probably get, hopefully, we could bring in some new, you know, some new subscribers into the channel, you know. You're just waiting for Everlook. I do get burned out, but I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to play the game like I used to play it, where I didn't try to think too much, and I I just get in here and I just enjoy it. You know, I put on some good music. I just sit back and relax, level my hunter, and I'm good. You know, one thing that really, like, really increased my enjoyment of the game was getting, you know, G Shade installed, because, you know, having the game that looks like, you know, that really makes it, because to me, like, having the client look nice and perform nicely is a big deal. And, you know, having the game look like this versus, you know, this is a big difference. I mean, this just doesn't look as nice, you know. And so that actually, getting G-Shade to work really made me happy. That made me very happy. And I tried to get G-Shade to work on other clients, but I was trying to use, I think I was using, well, there's two different ones. There's G-Shade and there's Reshade. I think this is Reshade. Yeah, this is Reshade. But there's also a program called G-Shade, which is basically the same thing. So getting that and getting my macros set up and just getting the client set up the way I like, you know, is good. So, I mean, it sucks that this server is so dead. It's not even worth putting stuff in the auction house. You know, it's bad when a server gets so dead that people don't want to put stuff in the auction house just because it never sells. So to make money, you just, you know, you make money by grinding stuff and selling it. You know, like gray items or, you know, bandages or food or whatever. You know, you're not going to really make a lot of money off the auction house. That's why I'm not really worrying about fishing or anything. But I like the way I got my UI set up. I like the colors and the contrast of the graphics are looking really good. So I'm really happy about that. So I'd like to just get my character up in level, maybe try to do some solo content. If we can get up to level 60, we can solo tame the warg and, you know, an LBRS for our bite rank 8. That would be super fun. I'd love to stream that. I would love to get to 60 and stream that for you guys, because that's something I did in the original vanilla game, and I've never seen it. I mean, other people did it back then, but it was kind of like a little bit of a rite of passage for hunters back in 2005. And it's so long ago, I wonder if many people even remember it anymore, you know? No, we don't know anything about when it's going to come out. All I know is it's probably going to be like at least 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months before it comes out. So the crazy part is, Mason, is the hype is building. I mean, there's hype building for this release. You know, like there were lots of other servers that people did. You know, there's a few other servers that came out, like Darwishire and stuff, and there was a little bit of hype, but nothing really major. This server has got a lot of hype behind it. You know, I was going to look and see, because, you know, Hamster Wheel always covers this kind of stuff. I wonder if Hamster Wheel has actually made any videos on this yet. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what this is. Hold on a second. I'm missing something. What is this? The Saurius Vibes.
Right, here we go. First time doing the world boss from Dusta. Oh my god. Jesus, that's a lot of people.
Holy shit.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
So, Stormforge. Maybe we should try this server out. Stormforge Mistblade? Is this the one that somebody mentioned in my Discord? I think somebody mentioned this. Let's take a look. No, this is not it. I don't know what Stormforge Mistblade is. Well, this video came, I mean, he first started talking about it in February. And then this video was from 3 days ago. So it's a Mist of Pandaria? Let's take a look at this real
Hey
quick.
guys, Hamster Wheel here with a new video, and welcome to my review of the Mist of Pandaria private server called Mistblade. This server is launched by a team called Stormforge, which is a collaboration project between the team of Atlantis and Tari. Now, Tari, as you might know, is a team that I have praised a lot over the years. Matter of fact, in terms of quality, I said that their Evermoon server is the best private server out there. Which means for this project, I have very high expectations and I expect the same quality, if not better. Before we dive right into the gameplay, let's talk a little bit more about this private server. So Mistblade has 3 times experience rate. It has launched just a few weeks ago, so it's still quite fresh. It is currently on patch 5.0 in terms of progression, and according to the website, it has a very good faction balance. This is accomplished by giving the Alliance extra perks, and the website also says that the server has a very good population. But I'm not going to take that as gospel, because there have been private servers before who have flat out lied about their population numbers.
Yeah.
The timing
Yes,
of the
there
server
has.
is also quite nice, because it's been very long since Tari's own Evermoon server has been fully progressed, and in the private server community there's definitely been a demand for a new Mist of Pandaria private server. So, a brand new mob server with a reputable team behind it that has great faction balance and a large population? Well damn, it feels like Christmas all over again. And of course I couldn't resist giving this a go myself, which is exactly why I made a brand new shaman on the server and see if this can live up to the high expectations that I have. So, come along for the ride as I show you my experience playing here all the way from level 1 to endgame content. Now, while the website shows a lot of people playing here, the starting zones did feel kind of barren, but that's also because when I started, most people's main character was already max level, and who knows, it would get better as soon as I would step into a capital city. I also noticed a bit of a weird visual bug where the icon for Primal Strike was off, though after a quick relog this was gone, so nothing serious here. After completing the starting zone and getting to about level 10, it was time to head to Orgrimmar. And a capital city like Orgrimmar was indeed sprawling with players, making the city feel alive and breathing. Now, I wish they automatically unlocked flight paths, given how quick you level up, and this was something I definitely liked in Apollo 3, and unfortunately it's not here. But that's just my personal taste, so it's alright. Then it was time to quest a bit in the Barrens, and once again the quests, which required some sort of script, dialogue or whatever, worked flawlessly. At level 15, I unlocked the random dungeon finder, so let's queue up as a DPS for now and see how long it takes before I can join a group. In the meantime, I continued questing and I ran into my first bug, which is when I killed Tusk's raptor, he just stood there as if I permanently immobilized him, and he would only attack if I got to melee range. Kinda weird, cause this does work on the Evermoon server if I remember correctly. And then finally, after 25 minutes or so, I was able to do my first dungeon, Ragefire Chasm. And then for whatever reason, OBS shit the bed and all of the footage was corrupted, so that was great. Later down the line, I ended up in Hillsbrad Foothills at level 24, and I couldn't do Hillsbrad without doing the very iconic Quest Giver quest, which also has a nice set of gloves as a reward. And so we deal with Dumas once again, and try to guide him the right ways, even though he goes in a completely different direction. And before I knew it, I was level 25 and ready to enter one of my favorite zones, the Arathi Highlands. Before we did that though, it was time to fly back to the Undercity, learn our professions, and also put some things on the run in between that I managed to push to level 89. So from here on out, the fun really begins. I started off with doing the arena scenario, because in this scenario you get a quest to obtain an item level 450 weapon, which is definitely a nice start. Afterwards I did the world boss Galleon, which was a blast, but unfortunately it didn't drop any loot for me. However, the Shah of Anger has a guaranteed item drop for some very nice boots, so I gathered a group for that and we brought that giant down too. And a few minutes later, I got myself my very first epic, some very nice 476 boots. And after buying a few pieces of item level 450 off the auction house, I was high enough to actually queue up for heroics, which I did. And well, the heroics in this fresh state are pretty darn easy. A little too easy if you ask me. They are, however, scripted very well. All the bosses were great, the cutscenes, the dialogue, it's all just working wonderfully. Except for this boss fight that kept resetting twice for some weird reason. He just disappeared out of nowhere and afterwards he would be full HP again. Really weird, but that was the only bug I could find in the couple of hours of heroics I've done so far.
I've seen that bug on the live the bug he's talking about here. I've seen that before on the live server, so not a surprise.
And after a few heroics, I was able to snag a few item level 4 63 items, buy the blue trinket from the Justice Points Quartermaster, and soon I'll be able to spend my Valor points on my very first...
I don't know if I'd be super interested in playing on this server. I mean, it's just what, a Mr. Pandaria server? I mean, what makes it... What is it? I mean, what is it
Hey
good?
guys, Hamster here with a new video, and
I don't know.
today I would like to talk a bit more about the new Mr. Pandaria server Stormforge Mistblade. You see, about 4 months ago I started playing there, and today I want to talk about my time here and also if it's still worth playing on. So, since my review of the server, my little Tauren Shaman has seen a decent amount of upgrades. First of all, I did some old school raids and gathered a full set of tier 2 to hide my ugly Mr. Pandaria gear, because every shaman knows that tier 2 is one of the best looking tier sets in the entire game. And second, since my review, I've been regularly logging in to do world bosses, occasionally raid and do a heroic dungeon to slowly but surely...
I'm not really... I mean, if this is just another Pandaria server, I don't really see the... Yeah. Not really interested in doing Mr. Pandaria, whatever, Mayhem. So...
Hey guys, Hamster here with another...
So this is what Hamster Wheel looks like. I didn't even know what he looked like. Oh my god, see this wallpaper he's got back here? I've actually used that wallpaper before on one of my monitors at work. That's pretty funny. I've actually used that.
Video update regarding the new Vanilla Fresh, and there's actually a couple of things to talk about, so let's dive right into it. So first of all, we finally have a project name. Yeah, I know, it took quite a while, and there was a...
So this is it. This is him talking about Everlook.
Chat open on the Discord of the Vanilla Fresh where people could throw their suggestions around, and a popular one was Black Lotus, which I actually thought was quite fitting, and there were even some pretty funny ones, like someone said that the project name should be 25 Druid and the server name should be 17 Hunter, which I thought was pretty funny. But we have a name, and it is Everlook. So apparently the new Vanilla Fresh is going to be called Everlook. There you go, guys, which is not a bad name, though Black Lotus would have been a bit more fitting, if you ask me, considering the try-hard nature of Vanilla WoW. But there you go. Also, in terms of Discord members, it has grown again. I mean, first I was amazed by 2,000, then I was amazed by 6,000. Now we're over 16,000 members, which is quite insane considering we only still have a name, no planned beta yet, no date of release or anything like that, and already...
I'm kind of sad that they haven't added me to the PTR yet, or whatever it's called. I applied, and I thought that, not that I'm a big streamer or anything, but I thought that, hey, if you just go to my YouTube channel, you can see that I've played your other servers. I've played Lights Hope, I've played Elysium. I mean, I've played all those servers and a lot. So I thought if they would just looked at my YouTube channel, they'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's played all these servers. He knows what they should play like, and I'd be a good tester. But I have gotten no response back from my application, so that was a little disheartening, because it would have been cool to get into their server and try it out, you know. But yeah, looking at their Discord, looking at the Discord here, let's see, 45. Can you collapse these sections in Discord? Let's see. Yeah, see, online is 4,000. You can't collapse. I've always thought that was bad, that you can't collapse the sections. Online, 4,000. How do I go to the bottom of this list? Oh, here we go. And these are what, offline? There we go. I think we're almost there. All right. So yeah, offline 13,800, and what did I say it was on the online? The online was like 4,000. So yeah. So it looks like they're around 18, getting close to 18,000 people in the Discord. That's just insane. Like, that is a lot of people.
16, I think it's like 16,600 at the moment I speak right now. So that is pretty nuts. I mean, it's crazy that with such little information, there's already so much traction. And speaking of traction, there's actually been a fair bit of YouTubers that have talked about it. Of course, Azimus keeps talking about it too on his channel. He has a new channel, Azimus 2, which I highly suggest you guys subscribe to because maybe he'll start uploading there because he said that his main channel will be more about skits and then his second channel might be more about serious stuff. So let's say the White Kidney Fresh. So go ahead and check that out. He really deserves some more subs. Also, Asmongold surprisingly also talked about it. Very quickly though, but he was not very positive about it. He said that he was kind of skeptical, saying, why would you go there? Why would you go on a private server where you can buy gold? Which I thought was kind of an odd argument considering how you can pretty much do the same on a classic TBC server. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that buying gold is more prevalent on a classic TBC server because banning bots is very lackluster. And say what you want about private servers, and of course there are definitely bad apples out there. There are some private servers out there that are really sharp with the bot banning and trying to minimize the gold selling, if you will. Aside from that, we still have Alexential that is posting videos very frequently.
Alexential.
I think he's now actually doing it every single day that he's making a video, kind of promoting the new Fresh, which is kind of cool. It's really cool to see that he's dedicated to this new vanilla realm, and him, pushing out videos, of course, helps with a potentially bigger population when the server finally launches. So that is really cool. We also have a community manager, which is Radix, which surprisingly I think was one of the devs from Darrowshire, which was a vanilla private server that launched not too long ago, but is kind of, fading away / dying. It's struggling to get 100 people playing there. And he's
100 people.
To,
wow.
Moderate the chat because, yeah, it was definitely needed considering how much gamer words were being thrown around there. Chat was definitely not very representative or professional, It wasn't really an inviting environment if you don't really...
You know what's funny is when you go to like a Discord for something, like the people that go into Discord chat and just sit in Discord chat about like a game or something, I mean, they literally just sit there and chat back and forth like for a long time. Those really aren't the people that... They're usually the younger crowd, you know what I mean? They're not like people that are going to have like super intelligent conversations. They're usually just like talking about bullshit, and the chat usually devolves into something about how much weed are you smoking, you know what I mean? It's not even about the game. I mean, like most of the times if you go to the Discord and start reading the chat, like it starts off about the game. It's like, oh, this is cool, a new server, but it always devolves into some kind of bullshit. So if I go to like the Discord server here, hopefully this will prove me right and not prove me wrong, but if we go here, and we just look at the general WoW chat, like, let's see what kind of shit we got. Man, fuck this. Release Cerber. From the wise words of Mike Morhaime, the Everlook project is trying to create... I got to see if that's actually real. That can't be real. And then they're not going to wait 6 months. Oh, so some of these people are actually... Why? So I can be a slaver because I am a gnome. So yeah, a lot of these people still are talking about WoW. Make Alex Etchell part of the team. Oh, God. This is interesting, though. This has got to be all just fake shit. There's no way Mike Morhaime would have said anything about Everlook. Let's take a look. There's no way. This is 2016. It's just something they made up.
What do you feel like you understand about actual game content, loops, player behavior now that maybe you didn't fully appreciate some time ago?
Yeah, but a lot of times the chat does devolve into just some really crappy shit. How old are you? Yeah, God forbid you live in a major urban area, undesirable war veterans. You just, whatever.
I think the power of being able to share those experiences.
I didn't shadow meld. Damn it!
Sort of has become.
Damn it! I keep forgetting to shadow meld.
We think is.
I thought I did.
To the experience that we try to make.
Yeah.
So, the meaning.
Wow.
Kind of comes from the being able to share those experiences. I remember when we were working on World of Warcraft. One of the things I was amazed about was the initial popularity of that game. I thought that making a massively multiplayer MMORPG, that we were, at least in the beginning, going to reach sort of a smaller audience and maybe have to grow from there. And right off the bat,
Jay.
like the curve just was a lot steeper than I ever imagined. And
Yeah, I didn't.
my takeaway from that,
Well, okay. That when WoW came out, there's always been a market for a large multiplayer game, right? And it pretty much has to be online. That's the only way to really make it multiplayer, right? There's always been a market for a large multiplayer online role-playing game. It's always been one. Just think about all the millions of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, and they're all doing it at home with their friends. But you know that all those people sitting at home playing Dungeons and Dragons with their friends, like way back in the 80s, because I was one of them, I mean, they always wanted, if there was an ability for them to go on to online, onto the web, which at the time didn't even exist really, but to go online and meet new people, to be able to play with new people, and maybe to group together with more than just their friends, like 4 or 5 people around their freaking mom's kitchen table, and play a game, and then to have a graphical representation of all the monsters and to have graphical representations of the spells and stuff. I mean, come on. I mean, they would. That is always been something that a bunch of nerds like me wanted, and so I'm surprised that they didn't realize that. I don't know if they didn't do some market research to see, like, what people were looking for, what people were excited for. But yeah, I'm a little surprised. I mean, of course, it was bigger than I think. They got up to, I think the original goal was 100,000. They were originally stating, Blizzard people were saying that, they not enough mana. They were originally saying that if they got 100,000 people, they would consider World of Warcraft a success. So in the first few months when it took off and started growing very rapidly, they were very surprised. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that it got to where it was, like with the 12 million. That's insane. But I'm not surprised that it got to like 1 million or 2 million people, because there's always been a market for it. When you think, like, really, what's really interesting is the sci-fi / fantasy market is very, like, even in movies, like all the movie wars and stuff, and they always frowned on science fiction and fantasy, or more fantasy more than science fiction even. There weren't a lot of, like, until Lord of the Rings, there weren't movies that were fantasy movies that were really doing well on the award shows, But that wasn't because there aren't people out there that love fantasy. They're all out there. I mean, why do you think when you go to a bookstore and you look at the fantasy novel section, it's huge? Huge. There are a shit ton of fantasy books out there because there are a shit ton of people that love fantasy. So there was always a market for fantasy role-playing in an online game. So yeah, it was always there. It was just one of those markets that I think maybe not everybody realized how big it truly was.
I think that, like, WoW, they originally thought that WoW was only going to hit like 500,000 players. Like,
Actually,
that was their projected
well,
number of.
I think originally they said that 100,000 would make the game a success, but maybe they projected more. I don't know. I heard a quote say that they said 100,000 was the minimum for it to be a success.
Of what they wanted. And it's actually crazy for him to see and, like, say this. Like, it's really, really crazy.
was that World of Warcraft was actually the most social of all of our games to that point.
Yeah.
Because you had groups of people experiencing it together. You had, you
Fuck
especially
yeah.
in the beginning, you needed to join a guild to make, to experience some of that content. And
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
and
It was interesting.
that made it a more mass market experience than some of the previous games. So I think the
yeah.
social experience, the ability to share your entertainment with others, is core.
And actually,
Yeah, so what he's saying right there is what I've been saying for the past, like, probably 2 or 3 years, and that's that the way MMOs have gone is they're going away from the social aspects. They're making the games, the leveling, like, pretty much super easy. They're making it like pretty much just a minor stepping stone to get to end game, where you don't even need people to help you because everything's so easy. It's just a matter of, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You're like running through quests and the content that's like so easy you can sleepwalk through it all. And that's why there is no good community, because you're not required to talk to anybody else. You're not required to ask other people for help, because you don't need help. It's so simple, you know. And that's what's really hurting MMOs now, is there's not enough difficulties, not enough challenging content from the beginning of your character's creation to the continuation of your character's creation throughout his life in that particular game, because leveling shouldn't be considered just a minor stepping stone. Like leveling from 1 to max level or whatever should be, in my opinion, the way I would do it if I made an MMO, and I've talked about this a million times, is it should be a very lengthy process. Like when you look at Dungeons and Dragons, you may get to like from level 1 to 2 or 3 fairly quickly, but once you get up around like level 10, I mean, it takes a lot of time and a lot of experience to level from 10 to 11 and 11 to 12, and God forbid you get to like level 25 or something. Then it really gets like slow, you know? I know. Hey, what's up, Ivy? It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't really looking for that. I just happened to kind of stumble across somebody had made a quote about Michael Morhaime making a quote about Everlook, and I'm like, well, this has to be bogus, and I think it is, of course, and I just happened to stumble across this video. You know, but the content in MMOs is just too easy, and if we want to get MMOs to be back to a major force in gaming, they need to be way more difficult. They need to be way more challenging. The enemy AI is a huge part of that, and it needs to be a lot more involved, a lot more. The enemies have to be a lot more intelligent. They have to be able to make good decisions. And there should be swarm tactics where enemies call upon other enemies to help, and or enemies, like if you're like walking from one town to another town, you may get attacked by some ogres along the road, right? And they like at nighttime, specifically at nighttime, they like to attack this. They like to ambush travelers on the road. They're thinking it's easy meat, right? It's like every time we sit on this road and we see like 2 or 3 weird, adventurers walking by at night, we're going to attack them, we're going to kill them and steal their money. So this happens all the time in the game. When you're between these certain areas at a certain time of night, a lot of times there's ogre raids. Well, then let's say you group, instead of going past that area with just 2 or 3 players, you go past that area with like 10 players, and when the ogres attack, you kill them all. Well, then the ogres, they actually counter, they make a counter move, and they go bring more of their friends. So the next night when you go by with your 10 people in your party, they've got 20 ogres, or maybe you go to the town guard of the next town to tell them that the ogres they attacked you. Then the town guards start sending out sentries that patrol the road to protect you from the ogres. I mean, these are just basic, like, kind of behaviors and reactions and artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is just a big umbrella. I mean, it's not really artificial intelligence. It's not like it's just basically coding behaviors. It's just behavior trees, It's not like the ogres are learning. It's not like they're learning anything outside of what the developers are letting them learn. But it's still, it's better intelligent behavior by the NPCs. And that's one of the things that we really need to improve in MMOs. But we need MMOs to be challenging, and we need the leveling to be much slower. Or if we're going to do it the way we're doing it, it's like, why even have the leveling process? I mean, it's kind of stupid. I mean, leveling really is there for you to learn your character, to learn your abilities, but it should be much more than that. So it should be part of what the game's all about, like leveling your character. I would love to see the leveling process. First of all, I don't want there to be a max level. I mean, in Dungeons & Dragons, there really isn't a max level, right? There isn't. And there really shouldn't be a max level. There could be maybe a soft cap, like, you can get to level 1 to 50, and then after that point or maybe more of like a hard cap like Black Desert, where then it takes maybe like a month of grinding mobs to go from like 60 to 61, and that's fine. But I really don't think there should be a cap on a limit, like a limit to your level. And I also think that even reaching the hard cap should take I'd love to see it take 3 months minimum. 3 months minimum, And personally myself, I'd love to see it take a year. I'd love to see it take a year. Everybody's going to cry and whine about it, but if you make it take a year to get to max level, then people can stop focusing on that. Stop focusing on, I have to get to the end game. I have to be, and I don't think it would stop them entirely. They just would all play so much they'd drop dead. We'd start seeing deaths in MMOs. I mean, seriously, people would play it so no life it's so hard. We'd probably start having people drop dead at their computers because they had to get to endgame, even if it took them a year. Or they'd look for ways to cheat the system. But I would love to see a game like that. It'd be so funny to watch people try to like somehow beat the system and get to endgame faster than, a year. Be awesome.
We could go take this a lot of different directions, whether it's raising the question, well, does that mean that a big narrative-based single-player experience doesn't have the same traction anymore? But the other question you could ask is, you talk about World of Warcraft really bringing that massively social experience to the market for the first time. For whatever reason, the traditional MMO is not as popular now, it doesn't seem, than it was 10, 15 years ago.
Hey, don't laugh, Mike.
That is true.
Hey, man.
Multiplayer games
Don't laugh at us.
That traditional, expansive, persistent
Come on,
world
dude.
isn't that really a hot genre right now. Why do you think that is, and is there hope?
Come on, man.
I think that's probably a question of accessibility and time investment, and maybe, I wouldn't say that MMOs maybe wouldn't have a resurgence.
I keep hearing that, and that always pisses me off when people say, "Oh, well, people don't have the same amount of time as they used to." Well, that's bullshit. Why don't they? People do the same things today they did 20 years ago, right? People get up, go to work, they come home, and they play video games. Or the people, I don't buy into this whole. Or people are older. Well, people are older now, and they have families and they have kids. Yeah, but what about all the young kids who are coming up? You tell me that nobody under the age of like 35 is playing MMOs, because we know that's not true. And all you have to do is look at the freaking chat in these games and see there's a bunch of kiddies, right? Just by the stupid conversations that go on. But yeah, so I don't buy into that at all, and I don't understand why people say that. People don't have time anymore. Here's the thing. Like the millennials are one of the worst fucking generations. Don't get me going on the millennials, but because of the internet and because of cell phones and all these different devices, it's not true. People have is 24 hours in the day, Einbay. Did that fucking change? Right? No, wait, that's where I'm going. Let me finish. That's where I was going. The attention span's different, but that doesn't see. Those are two different things. Those are two different things, though. When people say people don't have as much time, that's not true. Because if you're going to tell me there's not 24 hours in a day today like there were fucking in 2004, you have the same amount of time you always had. It's just you're choosing to spend your time in a lot of stupid ways. All right? I mean, people watching fucking TikTok. People watching, streaming like fucking no-life streaming shit left and right. You know what I mean? Like, people are watching more movies. People are watching more TikTok. People are doing stupid shit. Maybe they're watching porn. I don't know. But that doesn't mean they don't have time to play MMOs. So I don't buy any of that shit. That's just... It's like if the game's good, make it, and they will come. Okay? Make a good game. I mean, it's been proven. Look at Elden Ring. Elden Ring was a pretty good... And it wasn't even that great of a game. But it was a good game, and tons of people played it. Look at Lost Ark. And Lost Ark has tons of issues with it, but a ton of people play it. And it's a fucking isometric game with shitty leveling, some of the worst leveling I've ever seen. Still tons of people play it. Right? So yeah, I don't buy this whole like, oh, people don't have time or blah blah blah. Come on. Get off your fucking TikTok. Get off your damn porn sites or whatever the hell you're doing. Stop watching fucking stupid like jackass movies and bullshit fucking reality TV, and you'll have time, The attention span. What I was saying is you're right there. The attention span's different because, but the thing is, the attention span is different for them because that's how they grew up, right? It's a character flaw in my opinion. Like the music industry is different, right? Like the songs are written differently. Like California Berkeley did a study on how music today is so much less complicated than it was, 30 years ago. And it's because the attention span of today's whatever market, I call it the little kitty fucking millennial dumb fucks. But I mean, the attention span of kids today, or people today, or whoever, it doesn't have to be millennials, it could be anybody, is not the same. But to me, that's just a problem that's developed from the way things are done. I mean, we're not doing things to fix that problem. We're doing things that make it worse. And again, I think a lot of the fault is with parenting. I always go back to parenting. Like when I grew up, there's no way my mom was going to let me sit around watching TikToks on my phone. She's going to say, "What are you doing?" She's saying, "Get your ass off the phone. Go do something." She would have rode my ass. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I gotta like it. But all I'm trying to say is if you make a good game, like a good MMO, with good systems, people will play it, right? I mean, we've seen that time and time again when new MMOs come out, there's massive hype. And, look at New World. Look at Amazon's New World. And when you looked at the videos for New World, there was nothing in the videos for New World that said this is going to be the next great MMO. There wasn't. There was hardly any content. I mean, if you played any of the betas of New World, and I played like 3 different ones, right? You could tell that the game was severely lacking in content. There weren't even any like races. It was just everybody's a human, right? So it wasn't really like a true fantasy game. And yet, just because people were so starved for a good, massively multiplayer online role-playing game, it still garnered almost, what was it, like 1 million players? Like on the first couple of weeks, it had millions, like 1 million people playing it. And that's a game that you knew right up front that was, really didn't have a lot to offer. So if you come out with an MMO that has a lot to offer, and if it's actually good, there's going to be millions and millions of people playing it. Hands down.
In the future.
That's good. Yeah.
Maybe there are other types of games that actually that are able to capture the social experience even more. And I would also just observe that as World of Warcraft evolved over the years,
it got worse.
Kind of became less social.
Yep.
Because
there you go.
To achieve more accessibility.
Look, there you go. And Asmongold's laughing because he's basically saying it became less social. And he's not saying it sucks more, but that's what he's saying. I mean, Mike's saying right here, we fucked up. And that's what he's saying.
We kind of removed some of the reasons why you needed to play with the same group of people over and over.
And how do you feel about that?
I think that it takes away some of the reasons for some people of why they play.
Yeah.
Why they might want to continue playing.
Yep.
Certainly, and we could.
Oh my god.
Imagine that.
There it is. There it is. I mean, like, he just said it. Like, that's what we've been saying for years.
Like a lot of toxicity when it comes to like talking and everything on Discord. So he moderates the chat now. It's a bit better. I mean, it's still vanilla, fresh. It's still private server, so you're gonna have your fair bit of toxicity there. You're gonna have your fair bit of shit talking there. It's just the way it is. But it's a bit better now with some moderation, because there were days where people were literally spamming gamer words in there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's kind of my quick update in regards to the server. Slowly but surely there's more information being rolled out, and I'm really excited to see more and more updates about the server. Again, I was amazed that we had 6,000 members on Discord last time I made an update video, and now we're at more than 16,000. I mean, it's crazy. We don't even have a date yet for the beta, and we already have 16,000. I think right now the counter is on like 16,600 the moment I'm making this video. So that is absolutely nuts. And the fact that multiple content creators are talking about this. Even Asmongold, talking about the project, even though he was negative, it's still good publicity because he gets so much views. And even if like 1% or 0.1% checks it out, that's a win for the vanilla project. So there you go, guys. We don't have to say vanilla fresh, or I mean, we can as a meme, but we can now say Everlook, so that's pretty cool. And yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't planning on going super far, but I tried to play retail WoW a couple times today and yesterday, and the queue times were just bugging me. I tried to play they ruined the Destro Warlock to some degree, but I just didn't like waiting for the queue times, man. I mean, on a Saturday at like 3 p.m., the queue times were like 7, 8, 9 minutes. You know, it's like, and then the games would be like 5 minutes. I'd go to game, or the game would be like 5 or 6 minutes. Queue would be like 7, 8, or 9 minutes, and I'm like, you know, I'm spending 50% of my time, at least 50% of my time, just sitting around waiting for the queue to pop, and I just didn't find that a very efficient use of my time. And that's retail, yeah. I didn't find that an efficient use of my time. I was like, I'd rather jump in here and kind of level the hunter a little bit and just enjoy the vanilla experience, because this is very laid back and relaxing, and I actually, you know, I actually enjoy it, you know. Even though it's pretty much a dead server, you know, I still enjoy it. So how far am I going to go? I don't know. I thought it would be, I would love to go pretty far with it, but, you know. Yeah, I think everybody's, yeah. Yeah. It's really sad. I mean, the thing with retail, Iron Bay, the thing with retail World of Warcraft is is like there's it's such a polarizing game almost, you know, and it's like for every good thing in retail WoW, there's a bad thing. Like, so I'll get in, I'll do something like, wow, this is really cool, and then 2 seconds later, I'm like, well, this sucks. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, well, this sucks. There's just always like all these like bad things for every good thing. It's just sad that they've made all these decisions that have really, you know, ruined the game. You know. Did you see here, Iron Bay? I found, look, did you see my post here? I found them, the Great Pyramids. They were in Darkshore all along. I found the Great Pyramids of Giza. They're just sitting here in Darkshore. I took this screenshot, of course. I always get the best screenshots in Darkshore, because Darkshore is just my favorite. It's my favorite zone in the game. I just think it's so cool looking. So I don't know. The problem is every time I try to play other games, I don't have as much fun as I do playing WoW. You know, I've told you that a million times. Even if I get burned out in WoW, I still have fun playing it. Even when I'm burned out, I still enjoy it. You know. Exactly. It might be fun to like. Now, I don't want to like contradict what I just said earlier, but it might be fun to actually, because I've never really done this, but to actually play on Everlook and actually not try to like level super fast, but just try to level at a pretty quick pace so that I'm in the, further along, further along than most players. That way, when I get to 16, maybe I can do some PvP, like go around and take out some horde just for fun, because I've never really done that. I've never really like taken on the role of the ganker and just run around in horde areas and not kill lobies, because I would never really do that, but just kill people that are more my level, you know what I mean? Just for fun. It'd make for good content, like we could just call them like hunting streams. Start streaming, let's go hunting, I've never really done it. I've always thought of myself as a pretty good hunter. Like, I've played hunter quite a bit in vanilla. I've always considered myself a pretty decent player with the hunter, but I've never really done much PvP with the hunter in vanilla, so I don't really know how well that would work. Like, I know hunter's considered to be, pretty good in open world. Probably one of the better PvPers in open world and vanilla, but yeah, just something like that, like in a high level area where I'm fighting people that I wouldn't go to like level, I wouldn't do like what the stupid horde do and sit in Lakeshire as the level 60 killing level, level 20s. I would not do that. Oh, snap.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, did you? That's cool. I mean, look at this. Come on, look at this countryside. I love that tree there with the sunlight going through it. That is just awesome, right? Lost a little bit of the color though. It's funny, it looks better when I'm moving. Weird. Colors look better when I'm moving. Yeah, I know, right? Here, we gotta go back because we didn't get the bones here. Let's go get this. Let's go get the bones. Yeah, but I'm just chilling here. Einbay, I don't really have any plans on this server. I'm just enjoying playing Vanilla Hunter Gang because I haven't done it in a long time. Yeah, I will. I mean, yeah, my Warlock's like 35 already. Warlock's 35, Mage is like 20 something. Yeah, I'll keep doing them on and off, but I won't. Yeah, I'll keep doing them on and off. I mean, I've got 1 to 60, but I'd like to get the Warlock to 60, and the Mage to 60, and the I don't know about the Priest. I'm not really enjoying the Priest gameplay now. I think they kind of it's okay. I guess the Priest is okay. I would like to get the Priest to 60, I guess. So yeah, Warlock, Rogue, Mage, Priest. I would like to get all those guys to 60, and it isn't that difficult. I mean, they're already like what, like 35, 20, they're all halfway there. So yeah, I'll slowly over time I'll probably get them there. I think we still have quite a bit of time before that comes out. Before the next expansion comes out. But honestly, I didn't know when I was doing those videos, I didn't know there was going to be a new vanilla server that might have like 10,000 people in it. So, but yeah, I'll definitely play Dragonflight. But I was watching Venruki's video last night where he was covering some of the talent tree changes. It was pretty good. I actually should probably go over that video with you guys because it was pretty good, right? Yeah, I don't like Holy. I've always been a discipline priest, so playing Holy, I didn't really enjoy it that much. But the problem is Holy's the far and away the recognized best spec, and it is strong. I mean, it's got some burst heals, but it's really time will tell. You got to go through and get to level 60 to see like how much you're really gonna like that spec or not. I'm getting sleepy. What time is it? It's 11. Well, the appeal is that okay, the appeal is that leveling is fun. Is going to be fun. PvP in the open world is going to be very fun. There's not going to be any fucking GDKP fucking bullshit. There's not going to be any goddamn public people posting for boosts. And there ain't going to be any fucking like gold sellers, at least we hope not. If it's anything like Lights Hope, which is being run by some of the same people that ran Lights Hope, it'll be a 10,000 times improvement over Classic WoW. 10,000 time improvement. That's why. That's the reason. And if you can't see that, then God help you. I don't care about the people rushing to max level and doing all the, I don't care about the end game. I don't care about all the raid and all that bullshit. So I'm just there to level and have fun doing the leveling process and doing like open world PvP and enjoying that part of it. I don't care about I got to get to max level and have the best gear and be the first to do it. I've never really understood that anyways. I've never really understood the race anyway. The people that like do videos of like speed runs and shit. I've never found that interesting. To me, there's no real mechanical. I'm more impressed by mechanical skill than I am by fucking like almost what I would consider like hacks. Finding like exploits or ways to skip mechanics that make you get through the content quicker. I've never really liked that. I've always thought that is kind of a cheesy way to get past the content, To me, what's impressive is people doing stuff that the designers didn't think that they could do. Well, someone actually solos Onyxia by themselves, and they're like, holy shit, we never thought a level 60 in vanilla could just go in and fight Onyxia and kill her. That kind of stuff is what impresses me. Or like people, I get more impressed by PvP than anything else, because PvP is where mechanical skill comes into play. Like a rogue taking out, people doing like a 3v1, like a rogue taking out 3 people by himself, or a mage taking out 360s by themselves. That's the stuff that impresses me. Not someone being world first leveling. That doesn't impress me. Following a fucking scripted path that you just spent like fucking months and months of your life figuring out what's the fastest way I can run through these quests. Whatever. If that's whatever floats your boat. If you like that and you enjoy that, more power to you. But yeah, it doesn't impress me. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool stuff, man. People doing like I said, people doing stuff that you didn't think was possible. Possible, like from like a like soloing or PvP stuff, coming up with really cool ways to counter strategies. Man, these guys are wrecking my pet because because they're 18 and shit, and I mean, they shouldn't be beating him up that bad, but they are. Maybe he was low on health before when I started that fight with the bear. He probably was. 4 a.m. All right, man. Have a good one. 4 a.m. Damn. It's only, what, 10? Yeah, almost 11 p.m. here. Thanks, man. See ya, Anbei. Have a good one, man. What's up, Nameless? Oh, really? When I looked at, hey Kevin, when I looked at the auction house, there was like no. I looked in the auction house for like bows. There was like one bow. I looked for guns. There were like two. I mean, the auction house was so dead. You know. Oops. I got 23 people found, but I don't know if that's the whole, if that's just this continent. This is Kronos IV. See, Einbei's like, he doesn't understand the hype. He doesn't understand why people would want to go play, you know, the same shit over and over again. But it's because, like I said, it's because Classic has all these things that are bad, you know, all the boosting, the gold selling, the, you know, the GDKP. People want just the regular leveling experience, you know. And to get on a private vanilla server where hopefully there aren't a bunch of bots, where there aren't a bunch of gold sellers, and knowing that the server is going to have a high population, that appeals to a lot of people. That intrigues a lot of people. And I'm one of those people. Yeah, it's going to be... I saw a streamer, hey Kevin, I saw a streamer just yesterday talk about saying that him and his friends, and I guess he's got quite a few, are all going to go to the side that has the fewest people, which of course we know will be Alliance, right? So I think some people are going to purposely go to Alliance just to try to help, you know, balance out the population. Was it Chronic? I don't know who it was. I saw someone do that, say that. So, but I would imagine there might be quite a few people that will do that. That will try to help the population. I mean, you want it to be balanced. You don't want it to be not balanced. I'll definitely be going Alliance because I want to play a Paladin, and you know you have to be Alliance to play a Paladin. So. No bots, no gold. Yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, well, if you just look at Light's Hope didn't have. I mean, it had bots, of course, but it wasn't that bad. Light's Hope was a really good server. I really enjoyed Light's Hope. You know, it was actually really fun. I didn't know Darshire was ever that strong. Dude, Lights Hope? Yeah, but what was Darshire's population a month or two after it launched? What was? I mean, Lights Hope had... I would log into Lights Hope months after it launched and there'd be 9,000 people on. 9,000 people on. Right? I remember the slow time of the server was 5,000. Like, when it was slow, it was like 5,000 people. It was awesome. It was actually really good. We'll see what happens, man. We shall see. Daroshire was Lights Out? Well, what am I thinking of? No, it wasn't Daroshire. The server wasn't called Daroshire, was it? Okay, it was... Well, the first one was Northdale, right? And then, no, it was Lights Hope. The server was called Lights Hope, dude. There might have been a Daroshire server, but... Yeah, see, I wouldn't say playing Lights Hope. The server name was Lights Hope. Yeah, I never played on Daroshire. I mean, I played on Daroshire, like... Like, recently, and it was dead, but... Yeah. Like, here's my paladin at level 58 on Lights Hope. Here's what I was doing. Look, check me out. Pulling like raptors. We're talking about private servers. These are private servers, nameless, not retail ones. Yeah, I probably remember Darshire when they opened it up, but that was... But my interest may have been waning at that point. I don't know. I don't remember. That was like 4 years ago. I remember they had multiple... I remember they had a couple realms. No, I'm not using the modified. It's I'm using G shade or reshade. Sorry, reshade. I'll show you here in a minute, Tummy. A good eye though. Good eye though, Tummy, to catch that. Here, let's get somewhere that's kind of dark. So, I'm using reshade, so you can hear I've got vibrance turned on, the vibrance filter, levels filter, and the luma sharpen. So if we turn these off, you can see this is what the client would look like. It would look more like this. Yeah, pretty bland, really. You know. And then see the difference? Huge difference. Huge difference. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Darashai. I remember when they released it. And I played it for like maybe a day or something. Like, yeah, I played Northdale on launch. Here's me on Northdale launch, and I forgot to turn off some of my add-ons, but I didn't want to. I was too afraid to log out. I was too afraid to log out because I was afraid I wouldn't get back in. Hold on a second. I was too afraid I wouldn't get back in, but here I am on the North. This is Northdale server launch.
My UI is totally messed up.
So look at, you think that this is what Everlook's gonna look like. See this? This is what Everlook will look like in the Night Elf area on server launch. I guarantee it, right?
But we are in the server. As you can see, it's really crowded. Super crowded. So
That was Northdale. That was 2018, June 2018. And here's Darrowshire. This was streamed 8 months ago, so or 5 years ago. Elysium Darrowshire. Why is it called Elysium Darrowshire? But here's 5 years ago. And that's the only ones that I have a Darrowshire in the title. And then, of course, this was Darrowshire. And this was just streamed 8 months ago. The age much in private servers, so I really. And it was pretty much dead when 8 months ago. Or the best classic private servers, maybe suggest. Well, the best one I ever played on was really Light's Hope. Was my favorite one. Light's Hope, Northdale were my favorite ones. Yeah, but right now there aren't any good classic private servers right now. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm playing on Kronos IV, which is a classic private server, and this server is good. It's good, but the population is very low. You're talking a couple hundred people. I mean, that's it. Like maybe a couple hundred people at the peak hours. But yeah, what Kevin's talking about, Nameless, is there's one coming called Everlook, and it's going to be big. It's going to be real big. And if you go to everlook.org, this is where the website's going to be. It's not up yet. They're still working on it, but if you go here to everlook.org, you can go ahead and join the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. And eventually this is where the website will be eventually. It's just not there yet. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is Light Soap was my favorite one that I played on. I played on Elysium. I was on Elysium, but then the shenanigans with Elysium and the gold selling and all that crap. And that server got pretty much killed once they proved that somebody a part of the server admin group or whatever was selling gold. Selling gold on the server. And Jeff and Maldron, now they're like gone, aren't they? Whatever happened to those guys? They just kind of disappeared, right? You know what I mean? Didn't those guys just like disappear? I don't. Well, they put out a few videos, but not a lot. Like, look, 10 months ago, I'm back to streaming. Whatever happened to these guys?
I know it's been a while since I've streamed or made a video, but I'm making this video to let you guys know that I have a few announcements that I want to make and a few things I would just want to get off my chest and talk to you guys about. So first off, I just want to say that I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've streamed or made a video. I've been going through some personal things, some rough patches. Another thing is that the game, TBC
was shit.
What I
Classic was shit.
Being are two totally different.
Yeah, it was shit.
I really was hyped about TBC. Thought I'd be streaming it every day, doing arena with you guys and all this other stuff. But the fact of the matter is I lost a lot of hype for TBC, and I still love the game and I still play it, but I find myself raid logging and doing arena once a week just to get points.
Yeah.
So the passion really wasn't there to stream it because the passion wasn't really there to play it, right? So it would have been a lot of forced streams, I felt like. And to be honest, I've also just been going through some other things, not feeling really up to it and kind of being a little depressed and whatnot. But recently, thanks to Cargos and Dunedane, we did a GMA with Cargos, my brother, Dunedane, Grays, and myself, and I had a lot of fun, really did, and it was really good to see you guys.
I love Cargos.
Welcome me back and just being part of it. And
Yeah.
I have been thinking about this for a while now, ever since Seasons of Mastery was announced, and since Road to Ragnaros was announced. I knew that I wanted to get back streaming soon. So I decided that this week, the week that this video comes out, I am going to start streaming again. But I am going to be streaming exclusively on Twitch from now on. So those of you who have followed me on YouTube, do not be afraid, because we're still going to upload some stuff to YouTube.
Why would you stream exclusively on
YouTube? We're
Twitch?
going to use the YouTube channel for like things like that and maybe some other videos. But primarily, all of my streams will be on twitch.tv/devcam. So
That's too bad. Yeah, well, Cargos doesn't stream much on YouTube either. Not like he used to. Like if you go to Cargos, and you gotta realize, and this is kind of what I expected with Cargos, is I mean he's married, and he had a kid. You know what I mean? He had a kid, and when you have a kid, and I can speak from experience because I have a son, and my son's like, was he 24? Yeah, 24. Things are different. When you have a baby and you have to take care of a baby. I mean, you don't have time, and that is a full-time job. You know what I mean? So I didn't expect to, after they had the kid, for Cargos to really, and he didn't. He showed up for. I mean, he wasn't even in the Road to Ragnaros. He wasn't even in the raid. I mean, he streamed it, and when they did Rags and they downed Rags for the first time that anyone has ever done it with characters who had never died, which I thought was really cool. He wasn't even in the stream. I mean, he wasn't even in the raid. He just, for whatever reason, I don't know if he was worried about dying or if he just had too many obligations with the kid. So who knows? Oh, you think that TBC wasn't their thing? They were classic WoW engineers. With sponsors, yeah, it's amazing that they even had sponsors. I mean, it's just all that kind of stuff blows my mind. Them and their power gum stuff, sponsored different things, was always funny. Don't get me wrong. I wish I had like, if I really wanted to grow my channel, I would use, I would put in my webcam, and I would probably try to take more time to, edit videos and do things. But I'm lazy. I'm lazy, man. I'm married. I have 3 cats and now a dog, and my wife, I already am nice. My wife's already nice enough to let me play as much as I can. But if I wanted to start editing videos and doing those other things, that would take more time out of the day, and she might not be as nice about that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he said they bought a farm, and I was and that to each their own. But that seemed like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I've never even seen his wife. I don't even think I've ever heard his wife talk. You know what I mean? I'm sure people on my stream over the years have probably heard heard my wife come into the background and yell at me, "Jillian, I need you to walk the dog," or or all the times that she brings me food. She'll come in and say, "Hey, here's some dinner." She cooked me dinner, and I didn't even know she was gonna cook me dinner. My wife's pretty awesome. Yeah, no, I know. I know he bought a farm. I understand. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He bought a farm. Yep. It's crazy. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, if they want to do something like that and they're excited about it, more power to them. It seems like a weird timing, though. Doesn't it seem like weird timing? If you have a baby, you've already got all this extra work. You know what I mean? And then to throw throw even more work into it, like having a farm at the same time where you just have a newborn. That seems like a lot to take on at once. But like I said, whatever. People can do whatever they want as long as they're happy. Yeah, I just try to have fun on the stream. Yeah, I don't. I'm not trying to make money or get like. I mean, it would be awesome to have 20,000 subs. I'd be super excited to have 10,000 subs. You know, but I don't. And that's just the way it is. And it's taken me a long time just to get to where I am now. Yeah, well, I mean, I liked TBC, and I was very excited for TBC Classic. But what happened was, what happened with the boosting community and all the GDKP, all that stuff didn't come out. It didn't come out at the beginning of Classic. Like, I don't remember that stuff. Like when Classic first came out, the first 6 months I played, it was great. It was fantastic. And then I'd say after about a year maybe, then that's when all this boosting started coming out, especially near the end, right before TBC Classic came out. It just got so bad. Like you'd see all you saw in trade chat was want to buy a boost, want to sell a boost. That was it. That was it. I mean, and if you were like leveling up a character from like level 1 and you're just trying to get groups, like level 20 groups, level 30 groups, you couldn't even hardly get a group because everybody was just boosting. It was really it was just awful. It just ruined the game. He thinks, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. You mean you talking about Cargos? I have no idea. You talking about Cargos or Melderon? Mm. Yeah, tons of bots and gold stars. Yep.
Have you forgotten all the dreams we had? But yeah, let them die. But yeah, let them die.
He does it as a job? So but he was in the military. Did he like? Not, did he retire? Is he out of the military? I never quite understood what Cargos did. You know what I mean? Like how he made money.
Sitting up tall, watching sunrise, hands tied together, watch it through bleary eyes. Yeah, let it die.
I'm gonna skip the last one because it's kind of an annoying. That last one's kind of an annoying one.
Let it die. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's
Peace be with you. Illume. Goddess watch over you. May the stars guide you. Goddess watch over you.
What'd you say? You said you found me streaming early on Light Soap and played Ally for the first time. Was a dude called Red Ridge. Oh yeah, Red Ridge Boss. Yeah, yeah, that was his pet. Remember? Yeah, he would sit in Red Ridge on top of the building, top of the inn, and he would take his pet, who was like a level 60 kitty, and his pet name was called Red Ridge Boss. His pet's name was called Red Ridge Boss. And he would just sit there killing like every alliance over and over again, you know. Abusive? Yeah. Yeah, that guy killed a lot of people. I probably am the only one on the entire server. Now, there's a few people on here, but not many. There's not many on the server. But I'm only playing here just working out some of the kinks on the character, you know. I'm not looking to play with other people. Once Everlook comes out, it'll be a different story. It's going to be hugely popular. It's funny because I don't think anyone thought, you know, that it would be that another private vanilla server would come out. I didn't. Not right now. Not with classic Wrath of the Lich King, but I guess there really was a need for it, you know. Oh yeah? He's always fighting two mobs with range-specific macros. His name's Deltoids. God. Not really a fan of his name, but whatever. Levels like a beast, 1 to 10. He's always fighting 2 mobs with the range of the Cool.
It's too late for us now. We've gone. It's gone now. It's true. We've gone too far. Warm hearts, cold hearts now.
Psalms whack. What? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Just playing as Lisa's macros and feed. I got you. How can I be in combat? In combat with what? Boy, that Moonstalker came all the way down here to fight me.
It's too late for us. It's
Alright guys, that's it for me. I'm tired. I've streamed on and off a lot today. And then between that I've had to like help my wife who's sick and cook for her and take the dog out, and I'm tired. Ugh. So I'm gonna head out, get some sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'll level this character much more. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on the server. I like playing the Hunter. The Hunter's fun, but I don't think we really need to do a whole lot more because, you know, obviously we don't want to get burned out before the Everlook server comes out. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'll have to figure something out. I think Asmongold wants me to, or not Asmongold, sorry. I think Ironbay wants me to get back on retail and level my characters up to 60. Oh, thanks, Nameless. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'll probably play retail tomorrow and just try to get some of my characters to 60 so they're ready for the Dragonflight expansion. I've been wanting to get back on my Warlock. It just can't seem to get any good. The queue times just seem so long. It kind of sucks, but what can you do, man? Yeah, thanks, man. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.